to Week 8 Dictionaries of COMP105. Today we're going to learn about dictionaries. Now, a dictionary is basically like a light database. Databases are used to store a lot of information in the modern world in a very quick and easy to access way. For example, the Social Security Administration, if they type in your Social Security number, pretty much instantly your complete record would show up. So it's kind of magical how these databases work, and there's a whole billion-dollar industry behind them, of course. Our dictionary is like a very light version of a database, and we'll use it to store data and to access data and to and to basically modify our data and organize our data. And we'll use it to solve some interesting problems. All right, so let's get started. So we're right here in the first cell here. See the squiggly brackets? That's the symbol for a dictionary. So so that creates line 1 here creates a empty dictionary. And then we're simply going to say that the value of Jim is 23, the value of Kim is 17, and the value of Tim is 14. Let's say these are the ages of these three people. All right, so let's run the cell. And D is our dictionary. Jim, Kim, and Tim, those are called keys. Those are the keys of the dictionary. And the values are 23, 17, and 14. So dictionaries have keys and values. And if we look at it right here at the output, we see we have the key Jim, and then its value is the integer 23. So the key in this case is a string, and the value is an integer. Kim is the second key, and the value of her is 17, and Tim is 14. The order doesn't really matter, by the way. So when you have a dictionary, you don't really care about the order. Though, if I add another key to the dictionary, so let's say I say John is 27, and then I print D. It does put John at the end, but we don't really worry about the order. Just think of it as a nice thing that it puts it at the end of the dictionary. But internally, there's a different kind of order that allows Python to find things very quickly. All right, so if going to the next box here, you could also create a dictionary as a literal dictionary. This is not preferred, and you usually wouldn't want to do this, but you can make a dictionary with one line of code. So you see the colon there and the commas. Take a look at the colon and the commas. They separate out the keys and the values. So each pair, like Jim 23, that's the first key value. That's the first key value pair. And then Kim and 17, that's the second key value pair. So the commas separate the key value pairs, and they're called items. Like Tim 14, that's an item in the dictionary. All right, so once you have a dictionary that's defined, so let's run it. So D2 is defined. Then you can access the value that goes with a particular key. So for example, like what is the age of Kim? 17. What is the age of Jim? 23. All right, so so you access the item in your dictionary using the key, not the value, because you could have a dictionary with different keys but the same values. Let me show you. So let's call D4 a new dictionary, okay? And then I'm going to say D of 1 equals 2, D of 2 equals, say, 4, D of 3 equals 8, D of 0 equals 1. And let's print D, see what we got. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to print D4. That's what I just made, right? So print D4. Something went wrong, right? See what I did? I mixed up D and D4. So what I did is I modified the original D up there. So let's fix that by running that again. Now D is restored. And what I should have done is said D4, 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 and D4. All right, now everything looks good. So notice we have keys and values. 1 is the key, 2 is the value. Here 2 is the key, 4 is the value. And notice I can make another key value pair that has the same key but different values. Different key but same values. That's important. Now what I just said is wrong. So let's say another 1 here, and D4 of 5 is also 1. D4 of 6 is also 1. It's like a function. If you remember your functions from your pre-calculus math days, you could have different x values, but with the same y value, but you can't have one x value with two different y values. So it's basically a function from the keys to the values. All right. How do I take a dictionary and just get the keys out of it? Let's say I want to work with just the keys. So there's an easy way, and you use the keys method. So if you look here in line 1, K is equal to the list of the keys of the dictionary D2. That's how you would read this line. So D2.keys, it grabs all it grabs all of the keys from D2, and then the list turns it into a list. So if you look at the first output, this is a list of the keys of the dictionary. All right. Let's say we want all the values. So V is the list. Look at line 3 here. D2 dot values, so the values of the dictionary D2. They seem to go in the right order, which is a bonus, but I don't think you could really count on that. See, let's print out the dictionary also. So print D2. See, Jim 23, Kim 17. See, it does seem to respect the order, but I'm not 100% sure if it always does that. My guess is probably, but I wouldn't count on it. As I said, dictionaries don't really have a well-defined order, but perhaps Python implements some kind of order. All right, so here are the list of values from line 3, and this is the output here. The length of the dictionary, how many key value pairs do we have? That's 4, right? So there's 4 key value pairs. It's not 8. The answer is 4. That's the length of the dictionary. Okay. Any questions? Come to office hours, and I'll help you. Create an empty dictionary. Use the input function to populate the dictionary with 5 key value pairs. Let the keys be titles of movies and the values be your 1 to 5 star rating of them. Then print the dictionary. All right, so let's give this a try. All right, so D equals empty dictionary. You don't have to use D, but it's kind of a habit to use the letter D for dictionary. All right, D is a dictionary. I need a for loop. I want to do this 5 times, right? So for I in range 5. Okay, I want to ask for 2 things: name of a movie and my rating of them. So I would say input, let's say name equals input, enter name of movie, and then I need an integer for the rating. So rate equals int. I'm going to convert it directly to an integer. Input, enter your rating. Okay, so I got my my name of the movie and the rating. Now, each time I get it, I have to store it in the dictionary, right? Put it in the dictionary. This is the important part. So you say D bracket name equals rate. It should remind you a little bit of a list, but it's actually a lot easier to use than a list. You don't have to append. You can just put it right in directly. So that's it. Line 6 puts it in a dictionary. All right. And then let's print the dictionary. That's the last instructions. Print D. Okay, looks good. Why don't we run it, see what happens. Enter the name of a movie. Lord of the Rings. 4 stars. Bumblebee. 5 stars. Wrath of Khan. 4 stars. Dune. 3 stars. Last Christmas, 4 stars. All right, so here are 5 movies, and each one has a rating, and we accomplished this with the dictionary. So everything is stored in this dictionary D. All right. How do we check if a certain key is in a dictionary? So just to review, let's look at what D2 is. So there's D2 again. And we're checking, is John a key in D2? No, there's no John here, right? Is Jim a key in D2? So let's check this one. The answer is true. It's a Boolean value. Yes, Jim is a key. When you say in, you're only looking to see about the keys. You're not checking for values. Looking for values is a little bit more complicated. Because there could be many values with this, many keys, different keys with all the same value. But the keys are unique, like a function. The keys must be unique, but the values do not need to be. They could repeat themselves. All right, how do we go through a dictionary and see the entire dictionary? So we're going to call it to traverse a dictionary. How do you traverse a dictionary? Go through a dictionary and print out all the keys and values. So the thing you want to use is items. So it's a special kind of for loop. So for k comma v in d2 dot items. So what's happening here is d2.items gets us a key and a value pair. It gets them both. I'm calling k the key and v the value. You don't have to do that. You can give them any name you want. For example, you could say for a, b in d2 items, print the key, that's a, and the value b. Same program, just different variable names. All right, so the first variable will be the key, and the second will be its corresponding value. All right. So let's see. Let's try to make do a little example before I go on. So let's create a key. Let's create a dictionary. I'm going to call the dictionary U. So U is the dictionary. And this dictionary is going to have keys which would be ordered pairs. So maybe a little bit advanced, but let me show you. So U of 1, 1 equals 4. U of, this is where tuples come in, equals 6. U of, imagine a function that has 2 inputs and 1 output. U of, whoops, I'm making a mistake here. Let me see. I might have made a mistake. Let me double check. Yeah, okay, so I need to do it a little bit differently. So scratch that. Let me fix this. U parentheses, U bracket 1, 1 equals 2. U bracket parentheses 1, 2 equals 3. U bracket parentheses 1, 4 equals 7. All right, so Might be a little advanced and confusing, so if it is, I apologize, and you could ignore it, but I just wanted to show you just in case. So you can make a dictionary where the keys are tuples, or tuples, if you like to call them tuples, and the values could be a dictionary. I'm pretty sure the values could also be tuples too. You could try it out. See, this is good for statistics and more complicated data. Yeah, so you see here the inputs, the keys are tuples, and the values are tuples. The values can also be strings. So let me make a new dictionary that looks a little bit more reasonable, not so confusing. So U of 1 equals the. U of 2 equals and. U bracket 3 equals in. U of 4 equals her. So see, this dictionary is a nice way to sort of convert back and forth between numbers and these words. Now watch what happens if I turn this into a little game. I'll type a number, and then it's going to type in the corresponding word. So let's take a look. So let's do it a few times. For I in range 5. Let's input a number. So x equals int input. So let's get an input from the user, and then I'm going to print the dictionary value that goes with that number. And let's end it on the same line. So let's say it's going to print horizontally. So take a look at what I'm doing. So see, I have this dictionary that converts between numbers and these words. Then I'm going to ask the user to enter a bunch of numbers, and then I'm going to take the number and convert it to the word and print it out. So watch how it works. 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3. Let me make it look a little nicer and take out this end part. I think it'll look a little nicer. Try it again. 1, 2, 4, 2, 1. In fact, we can have it randomly do this. Watch this. So let's say I wanted to randomly talk. Let's have it print 100 words. And I'm going to say this time, I need the random capability, right? So let's load the random capability. From random import randint. That's a quick way to just get that one function. So x is randint 1 to 4. Now let's print it horizontally, but with a space between each word. All right, take a look at this little program. For random, import randint. So I have the random int function. And then I'm going to get a random integer from 1 to 4 inclusive. That means it could be the 1 and it could be the 4. Remember, randint is not the same as range. So don't forget that. And then I'm going to print. Okay, so let's see what happens. All right. Oh, sorry. End equals, right? We need the end equals. All right, so see, the computer talks. This is low-level artificial intelligence. All right. Okay, now let's use the dictionary to do something more useful, and that's to calculate some simple statistics. All right, so X is a list of numbers. It's a sample. It's a list of numbers. And we have 28 numbers here. We want to figure out something that's a little bit more challenging that you may not have tried yet. Which number occurs most frequently? What's the mode? So what we're going to do is use a dictionary to accomplish this. How? We're going to read each number one at a time from big X into little x. Little x will take a number from big X. And then we're going to try to put it in the dictionary. If it's already in the dictionary, we're going to make the value the frequency, the number of times it occurs. But if it isn't in the dictionary, we're going to put it in for the very first time and set its frequency equal to 1. So watch how it works. You know what? Maybe I could make this a little more helpful by putting in some output, text output. This is a nice idea, a nice technique for programming. You can put in helpful output to say what happens. See, watch. If X in D, then you're going to say print X is already been seen. And in this case, else, print this is the first time I see X. So when this occurs, we see a number for the first time. Think about how you would make a tally and keep track of how often each number occurs if you were going to do this by hand. It's the exact same thing. All right, let's run it. All right, so this is the first time I see 1. Its value will be set to 1. First time I see 2, 5, 4, makes sense. But 2, we've already seen, right? See how it occurred a second time? So its value is now going to be 2. In fact, we could do even better. We could print the dictionary each time. It'll be more messy, but maybe more instructive. All right, so let's print the dictionary each time we do this. So this is the first time we see 1, so he puts it in the dictionary, puts 5, puts 4 in the dictionary. Now look, 2, it finds 2, see? So it sets the value for 2 to be 2. It adds 1 to the current value because it found it twice. And finally, you see 6 has already been seen, so twice. 5 has already been seen. Notice these numbers are not in order, but it occurs 4 times. So the 5 occurs 4 times. Does that make sense? Go back and look. How many 5s do you see there? Yeah, I see 4 of them. All right. So that's how you can create a frequency, a frequency dictionary that represents how many times each unique number occurs. Okay, so here's our dictionary. Let's print it out now. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to figure out which number occurs the most? What's the most frequent? What's the mode? So what we need to do is get the values. Let's find all the values, turn them into a list. Okay, so that's what this does. So I'll do this step by step for you. So let's look at the values and print the values. All right, there are all the values. Right, those are all the values. They represent the frequency that a number occurs, how many times a number occurs. All right, we want the biggest of them, so we get the max. M equals the max of the values. All right, so now if you print M, four. That's the biggest frequency, the biggest number in the frequency list. Okay, now comes the, not super easy part. We have to figure out which keys have a value of 4 in our dictionary. See, if we go back to our dictionary here, we have to use a for loop, go through the whole dictionary, and figure out which key has value 4. Dictionaries are not really designed for this particular topic, this particular skill, so that's why things are a little bit, awkward here. They're very good for other things, though. This is called a data structure, a way to store data. Each data structure has its own, benefits and advantages and disadvantages. Like the list is really, really fast, but it has to keep things in a sequential order. And it has to have all the data of uniform type. That means that it's all the same kind of data. But dictionaries could have more complicated data. And it's got their own kind of order. All right, so let's go through the let's go through the dictionary. KV in d.items and search. Is a particular value equal to m, which is our max? If it is, we'll print it. So let's go through it, and 5 and 3, they occur 4 times. So that's the answer. The mode is 5, 3. All right. You can make a dictionary. I'm not really going to cover this much, but let me just mention it. You can make a dictionary through list comprehension, like in one line of code. So this dictionary, the keys are X, where X is from 0 to 100, and the values would be X plus 1. Sort of nice for making like a math function. So if you want to see what this dictionary looks like, let's look at F. See, it's just a set of ordered pairs, 0, x plus 1, which is basically a function. This is the definition of a mathematical function. It's simply a set of ordered pairs where each input has only one output. All right. Okay, some other useful methods for the dictionary. Pop. You could remove elements of the dictionary that have a particular key. So you see how this dictionary up here has a key 5 and a value 19. So let's say you want to remove that from the dictionary. You could just pop 5, d.pop5, and then print the dictionary again, and you see that 5 is gone and 19 is gone. The pair 5, 19 is gone. Another way to get elements, you could either use the bracket like we learned before, or you could use get to just get it, and that will get the value. It's a little more advanced and it has more options, but we're not really going to cover it in our class. You could look it up if you're interested. So get 2 will get the value that goes with 2, and that's 3. So you see the 2 comma 2 colon 3. Something happened there, got a little messed up. I don't know if I could undo this or not. Yeah, I think I just messed that up a little bit. Sorry. Let's see. D. So I'm missing the pair. Actually, I'm missing the pair, the value for 2, and put it back in. And I'm missing the 5 already. Let's see. What's the error here? Oh, I'm missing. Somehow I dragged something and messed up this dictionary. Let me see if I can fix it quickly. I think it's okay now. Oh, this colon out in front, see? Try again. All right, all fixed. All right. Let's do some exercises. I have some better exercises that I like rather than these ones. So let me give you some other things to try. What I would recommend you do right here is you pause after I show you the problem. You pause, try to solve it yourself, and then you can look at my answer and see if you got it right or not. All right, so let me make a new exercise here. Create a dictionary that stores the grades of a bunch of students. Enter the name/grade until Q is entered. Then calculate the average grade. Then add 1 point to everyone's grade. Okay, so that's the problem. Let me call this, I'll just call it problem A, so we don't confuse it with the rest of the notes. So problem A. Create a dictionary that stores the grades of a bunch of students. Enter the name grade until Q is entered, then calculate the average grade, then add 1 point to everyone's grade. Just curious what the AI will do, so pause it before you look at the answer. I'll probably just type it myself, but let's see. All right, a bit complicated, right? I think I could definitely do it better. I mean, it's definitely excellent, but I'd rather do it myself. All right, so let me erase this. Okay, All right, so let's see. So D equals, let me put it right here. All right, D equals a empty dictionary. I'm going to get the first name. Name equals input, enter name of student. Okay. While name is not equal to Q, all right, int, so X, so I call it grade equals int, input, enter grade. Okay. Let's put it in the dictionary. D bracket name is equal to grade. Okay, I did the first part. Then I want to calculate the average grade, right? Oh, no, not done. And then I need to get the next name. And I have to, this is a little tricky. Think about it, though. I have to get the next name. And then it's going to loop back, and then it's going to get the next grade. So think of, try to wrap your head around this a little bit. Some things are in the loop, other things are out of the loop. The only things that are repeated are what's in the loop, what's indented in the while. All right, so let's get the average grade. So grade list equals the list of the D dot values. Okay, so there's the, I have the list of the values, and in order to get the average, I simply have to say print the average is, so it's going to be the sum of the grade list divided by the len of the grade list. All right, and let's print the dictionary just to see what it looks like. And now I'm going to add 1 point to every grade, right? So I need the keys to do this. So key list equals list d dot keys. And then I'm going to say for k in key list, for every key in the key list. This is already a probably an advanced program for people because it's using lists and dictionaries all together. Probably this will be the only exercise for today. I think this is quite complicated. It pretty much includes all the other ones. Yeah, it pretty much includes everything we need to know. All right, so let's see. Let's add 1 point to everyone's grade. So what we're going to do is we're going to say D bracket K. That's the current value, right? So plus equals 1. So I just took each value that goes with that key and I added 1. And just to see that it works, print D. Let's find the person with the highest grade. So let's go back to the values again. I need the values, right? So let's go to the grade list. Let's do this again. And let's find the max. So M is equal to the max of grade list. Okay. And now let's traverse the dictionary. You could actually do it the same way we just did. let me show you a different way to do it. So we could say for k in key list, if d bracket k is equal to n, print highest grade, comma, k. All right, let's run it. I think it might have a syntax error too, but let's give it a try. All right, so let's say Jim 84, Kim 95, Tim 88, Josh 100. Q. Okay, average is 91.75. This was the original dictionary. Then I added one to everyone's grade, and Josh got the highest grade. All right, so if you could do this kind of programming, then you really are understanding well. But don't be disappointed if you can't do this yet. This is probably too difficult, and even on the test, we almost never ask you to write programs this long. We would ask you to do pieces of it. But this is a great goal to get up to being able to do things like this. Your first step is to try to understand it, and then try to write things like this yourself. All right, so have a good week, and I'll see you guys next Thursday.